Yeah, Janelsa.
Okay, do you want to upload the benefits?
You should be able to see my screen right now.
Actually, I see your email right now.
Ah, okay. So hold on a second.
Okay, great. Let me just close my screen here. So as everybody knows, this is a time of year where we all open enrollment, where everybody gets a chance to review their current benefits and decide on what benefits they want to elect for the following plan year. So our plan year starts from June 1st and it runs all the way through the 31st of May. So right now we're doing open enrollment for June 1st of 2020 through May 31st of 2021. So the company, we're always looking for ways to provide the most comprehensive and affordable benefits, not just to everybody, to our associates, but also for their families. So I have some great news to share. On the majority of our benefits, there was no increases on the premium. However, on our medical benefit, there was a 47% increase, which is a lot higher than what the market usually trends. And Colleen, further along in the presentation, she will go over the reason for the increase in the premiums. So like every year, this is a time where Colleen Hernandez from CGI as well as Debbie Rito joins us, and they go over our benefits renewal and give us the most informed and information on each insurance product, each benefit product, to make sure that we all understand what our benefits are, so we can make the most informed decisions, first of all, when we elect them, and also when it comes time to actually using the benefits. So after the call today, the benefit enrollment will begin online through the Assure system as we did the prior year, and then you will have until 5 o'clock on Friday, May 1st, to finalize your election. So let's say if you want to enroll or want to decline benefits, you still have to go through the open enrollment benefit portal. So if you have any questions or anything individually, Colleen and Debbie will take any questions after the presentation. And of course, if you need some, one-on-one time with me, you can just feel free to reach out and we can discuss further. So at this time, I'll let Debbie and Colleen start going through what the new, what our benefits are for this new plan year.
Thank you, Janelsa. So everyone, my name is Colleen Hernandez with CGI. I have been working with Toccata for the last several years regarding the benefit package. I do not work with any one particular carrier, so I'm able to answer your questions with not only in regards to your SegPay benefits, but if you have questions regarding a spouse's benefit or an individual policy that you may have and just had some general questions, I'll be happy to help however I can. Janelsa did mention that we did receive a rather hefty increase this year in the medical. Glad to say that the rest of your benefits, you will not see any kind of increase. In order to mitigate the renewal increase to the medical plan, we have decided that we're going to offer 3 different plan options, one of which will have an HRA attached to it, and we'll talk about that in more detail in the next coming pages. The benefits at a glance that you're currently looking at, Janelsa will distribute after the call, so everybody will have their own individual copy to go through at their own pace, review it. If you have questions after reviewing it, please don't hesitate to reach out to Debbie or myself. The very, very first page of the benefits at a glance just reminds you that your benefit year is June 1st. That means that you are locked into the elections that you make for the plan year through May 31st. There are a few instances where you're able to make a change if you experience a qualifying event such as marriage, birth, divorce. If your spouse loses coverage elsewhere, they're able to come onto your plan. If your spouse gains eligibility for a plan elsewhere, they can come off your plan. All of those instances, you're able to change your dependents. However, the plan that you elect, you are locked into that plan for the remainder of the year. So it's important that you understand the benefits that you're purchasing. So if at any point in time you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. The bottom of the first page just goes over instructions on how to locate a participating provider. As I mentioned earlier, you're going to have 3 different plan options to choose from within the Aetna portfolio. All of the plans will utilize the same Select Open Access network. Instructions are right here on the page as a little refresher. Instructions have not changed from last year. Also, please be advised that you are eligible for benefits after you satisfy your waiting period, which is first of the month following 30 days, and you're able to cover dependent children up until age 26. If we flip over to the second and third page of the attachment, it's going to review how you log on to the enrollment/payroll platform, and we'll review steps on how you can complete your open enrollment. If you have any questions, again, Debbie and I are happy to help. Page number 4 is going to talk about your medical benefits in a little bit more detail. The very first plan that we're going to discuss is going to be the Open Access 6750 100% plan. You'll notice in bright red at the top of the page, it says HRA eligible. This is the only plan that is going to come with Toccata's promise to help you satisfy your deductible. As mentioned earlier, your plan did receive a rather hefty renewal increase. It's going to be a variety of different component pieces that make up the increase, part of which is going to be medical trend, which is about 11 to 15%. Other changes such as demographics, everybody's getting a year older, can't help that. And then also utilization is going to be a part of it. So we're going to talk about ways for you as the employee to receive care and treatment in the most economical sense, as well as seeking care and treatment where appropriate will help keep your renewal increases down for the future. Lower renewal increases for the employer means lower rates in turn for you as the employee. So together as a team, we can work towards keeping costs down so that everybody is happy, a win-win for everybody here. So without further ado, let's deep dive into these different plan options. As you'll notice that all of the plans, again, use the same exact network, so network consideration does not have to factor into your decision here. All of the plans that are going to have copays for a lot of the commonly utilized services, including you're going to have a copay to see the doctor, a copay to see the specialist, a copay for emergency room, a copay for urgent care. In all of those instances where you see that word copay, you are responsible for only the copay. There is no deductible responsibility. You walk in, you walk out, you pay that copay alone. Other services such as lab work, x-rays, advanced imaging, hospitalization, you are going to be responsible for the deductible and any appropriate coinsurance. The plan in column number 1 and the plan in column number 3, once you satisfy your deductible, you will only have copays. There is no coinsurance. The plan in column number 2, there is 30% coinsurance. What that means is after you satisfy your individual deductible, you will then pay 30% of the remaining balance, and Aetna will pay the remaining 70% until you satisfy your out-of-pocket maximum. The plan in column number 1, the 6750 100% plan, is going to work as such. On this plan, if you have any care and treatment that is subject to deductible and coinsurance, such as, again, the lab, x-rays, advanced imaging, or inpatient outpatient services. You are going to be responsible for the first $6,750. However, after you satisfy $4,750 of your Aetna $6,750 deductible responsibility, you are then eligible to submit for reimbursement to Toccata. So what that means is, if I were to go to the hospital, for example, knock on wood, and I received a bill that says I am responsible for $6,750, I'll go on ahead, make arrangements to pay the hospital directly. I then take my explanation of benefits from Aetna saying, hey, I went over here, this is what it cost. I'm going to take that and I'm going to submit it through the HRA administrator, which is CGI, and we'll talk about how to submit claims in more detail shortly. And I am going to get back $2,000. So though Aetna will look like I paid $6,750, I technically only paid $4,750. I paid all $6,750, and then I got $2,000 back from my employer. In the instance that you have family coverage, no one person in your family is responsible for more than the $6,750 individual deductible. Once any one individual within your family, either yourself or a covered dependent, satisfies that $6,750, anything over $4,750 can be submitted for reimbursement. Let's use another example just to make sure that we're clear. If I were to go to the hospital and my bill is $5,000, I would go on ahead and submit for reimbursement for $250. That's the amount above the $4,750 that I'm responsible for first. If I have dependent coverage, after one person has satisfied their individual responsibility, if anybody else within the family unit or a combination of people within the family unit get to $13,500, you are then able to submit for an additional $2,000 reimbursement. So worst case scenario, if you have family coverage and collectively as a family you meet, according to Aetna, the $13,500, you really would only have come out of pocket $9,500, and that's, again, absolute worst case scenario. Please keep in mind that on this plan, your commonly utilized services, again, doctors, specialists, emergency room, and urgent care are all subject to a copay, and therefore your deductible will never kick in those instances. Next thing that I wanted to talk about for all of the plans is that your plans are covered for in-network coverage only, with the exception of emergencies. In the event of an emergency, you will have coverage even outside of the network. It'll be treated as if you were in network. An emergency is going to constitute, I fell, I broke my leg, I need to be transported to the closest emergency room, they need to set my leg, maybe I need a surgery, etc. An emergency is not, hey, I'm in Vail and I'm skiing and I now have a cold and I'm not feeling well and I don't think I should be flying because my ear is hurting, so let me get a prescription, a little antibiotic, help clear up this infection so that I can fly comfortably home without the pressure. Not an emergency, will not be covered, and you would be on the hook for that. However, in that example, that is a great a great type of visit, you can utilize either a CVS Minute Clinic, which coverage is absolutely free. If you go to any of the Minute Clinic locations, you can speak with a nurse practitioner over there at no charge to you. Also, great to use the Teladoc benefit, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit more detail on the next page. Speaking of affordable options, I do want to talk about best places to seek care and treatment. Standard, I'm not feeling well, we always suggest going to your primary physician first. It's going to be a $35 copay. You have the rapport with your doctor. They have your entire medical history in one place. They coordinate all of your care and treatment. However, CVS Minute Clinic is definitely an option. They have a nurse practitioner on staff. They have weekend, evening hours. Great for many of the same things as the primary physician can take care of, including I have a cold, I think I have strep throat, I might have the flu, I have this funny looking rash on my arm. Moving on to more urgent types of situations. I slice my finger open, I need 3 stitches. I am really not feeling well, I sprained my ankle. More urgent types of situations, urgent care, much lesser of a copay than the emergency room. Urgent care can still do a lot of the same things that the emergency room can do. It's going to be significantly cheaper, and you're in and you're out a lot quicker. Emergency room should be the last option or the first option for extreme emergencies, such as I'm having chest pains, having difficulty breathing, shortness of breath, I pass out. Please go directly to the emergency room, as you will be instructed to go there anyway. You will notice, as I mentioned earlier, all 3 of the plans have copays for the commonly utilized services, the same services, the doctor, the specialist, emergency room, urgent care. The copay associated with each of the plans will vary slightly. Then you have deductible and coinsurance services, such as lab work, x-ray, imaging, and hospitalizations. Your deductibles are what is different. I want to draw your attention to the middle of the page over here towards the bottom. We reviewed the very first plan that has the HRA built into it. The other 2 plans, your deductible exposure and out-of-pocket are slightly less. Neither of those you are eligible to submit for HRA reimbursement. So you are on the hook for whatever the Aetna plan itself says. So if you were to elect the 2750 70% plan and you were hospitalized, you will be responsible for the first $2,750 and then 30% of the remaining bill until you get to the out-of-pocket maximum of $5,500. The last plan is the $2,000 100% plan. This is actually the same plan you currently have right now. This is an option for you to continue. So if you are happy on the plan and you do not want to change, you do have the option of continuing this year. Review the prescription benefits on the bottom of the page, as well as the payroll deductions for each of the associated plans. The 6750 as well as the 2750 70% plan, copays are exactly the same. You have $10 tier 1, $45 tier 2, $75 tier 3. Any specialty drugs, you're subject to coinsurance up to a cap depending upon preferred specialty or non-preferred. The 2,100% copays for the tier 1 preferred brand and non-preferred, they are a tiny bit lower, and the same coinsurance for any specialty prescriptions. you will notice that the employer is picking 100% the cost of the $67.50 plan up for you. And you're also eligible for up to $4,000 of reimbursement. $2,000 if you are enrolled in employee-only coverage, up to $4,000 if you are enrolled with dependents. It's $2,000 for the first person that meets it, and then up to an additional $2,000 for the combination of the additional family members. I'm going to pause for one moment to allow any questions to be asked, because I know this is definitely confusing. So if anybody has any questions, please unmute yourselves and ask.
The biweekly deduction, does that matter if it's individual or family, or is it the same no
These
matter
over
what?
here, these are the employee-only biweekly deductions. The complete table will be found when you go to do your open enrollment elections on the computer later on this afternoon through Friday at 5 o'clock. Any other questions?
Yeah, I have a question. This is Brenda. Does the Walgreens clinic also qualify, or is it just the CVS Minute?
It is just a CVS Minute clinic where you're able to get free care and treatment, because Aetna and CVS, they are one. So I believe CVS owns Aetna.
Awesome, thank you.
You're welcome.
Could you explain again HRA? What does that mean?
Yep, so actually we're going to get into a little bit more details on the next page. I told you, I know it's definitely confusing, so we wanted to make sure that we answer all the questions. So your HRA, it's two separate things. You have an Aetna Health plan that says one thing. So the Aetna Health plan says you have a deductible of $6,750. Your employer then lays on top of that and says, hey, I understand you have a $6,750 deductible. Well, I care about your health and your well-being. So once you reach $4,750, I'm going to then kick in and help you cover the remaining $2,000 of your deductible. If you have family coverage, it works the same way to an extent. Your Aetna plan says, hey, you have an individual $6,750 deductible, but collectively as a family, you will not pay more than $13,500. Well, your employer then comes in and says, hey, if you or any individual within your family meet $6,750, we'll cover the last $2,000. Collectively as a family, if anybody in your family meets $13,500, so somebody has to meet the individual deductible responsibility, and then somebody else would need to, or a combination of everybody else will have to meet the remaining deductible, they will kick back an additional $2,000. This only comes into play if you have anything that is deductible, though. The copays, they're going to go towards your out-of-pocket maximum and therefore are not part of the HRA. The HRA is going to help you cover your in-network deductible. Does that help clear things up a little bit?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. Any other questions about this? Because this is the only change that is happening. So I definitely want to make sure that we have it completely under control. And not, Debbie and I will be here. So if you know you're uncomfortable asking questions right now, or you think of something later, we are here to help. But I want to make sure that we're.
Is this similar to, is this plan equivalent to what we have now, or which plan is equivalent to what we currently have and what we're enrolled in?
So you have currently the plan on page 4 in column 3. This is the plan you have right now, right here. This plan is the plan you have right now. So you have the option of continuing on with your current plan, or you can go to one of the other plan options. Once you factor in the HRA, the new plan that your employer is going to pick up 100% for is really not very far off from the plan you're currently enrolled in right now. If you look over at the commonly utilized services, you're talking about a few dollars difference if and when you need those things. Big difference is going to kick in if you have a hospitalization coming into play or if you meet your out-of-pocket maximum. Looking at this over here, you will notice the planning column number 1, the 6750 100% plan. The out-of-pocket maximum right over here is $7,500 and $15,000. That is the end all, say all, be all. Worst case scenario you will pay in a given calendar year. However, if you satisfy your deductible, which is part of your out-of-pocket maximum, so of that $7,500, $6,750 could come from your deductible, you're going to get reimbursed for $2,000 of that. So you could potentially only have to pay out of your pocket in a very bad year $5,500, which is the same as the out-of-pocket maximum in the second plan, the second column, which comes with a payroll deduction of $33.84 a check if you have individual only coverage. And you could be out of pocket the same dollar amount for utilization within that year. So it's not the same plan, but benefits are pretty equivalent. The current plan that you have right now, the out-of-pocket maximum is $5,000, whereas if on the 6750 plan you do get reimbursed at $2,000, you would be only out of pocket an additional $500. But the plan you currently have right now, the 2,100% plan, does have a payroll deduction, whereas the 6750 100% plan does not. Did that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions about the medical plan or the HRA? Okay, on the bottom of page 5, it talks about the 4 different options how you submit reimbursement under the HRA. So remember, the HRA is separate than the Aetna plan. The Aetna plan says, hey, you're going to be responsible for this. After you meet this, Aetna knows nothing about it. Aetna knows nothing about the HRA either. So if you call in and say, hey, how much of my deductible have I met? They will only see how much you have met with them. They'll never be able to see that you received money back from your employer because it is completely separate. 4 different options to receive reimbursements through the mail, through fax, you can email, or you can log on to the portal and submit for reimbursement that way. Debbie and I were happy to help you guide you through the reimbursement process. If you find yourself in that situation, please don't hesitate to reach out to us, and I will show you the email address and phone number for the HRA department at the end of the presentation. Page number 6 talks about prescription drug savings. This information works with your Aetna plan. It works for your brothers, sisters, neighbors, uncles, Humana plan. It works for your babysitter's Blue Cross Blue Shield plan. This is a generic means for prescription drug savings. Publix offers free antibiotics and some routine maintenance medication absolutely free of charge. Walmart, Winn-Dixie, they have $4 generics or $10 for a 90-day supply of generic medication. Also, GoodRx, which I know a lot of people are becoming more familiar with. Great, especially if you're taking a specialty medication, because your current plan will require deductible and coinsurance. So if there is a medication that has a manufacturer's coupon, GoodRx will have a link directly to that coupon, so you're able to download it and use it alongside your Aetna insurance for the most cost-effective benefit to you. Page number 7 talks about registering for your Aetna site. If you haven't done so already, I would definitely suggest it. Not only is it going to be a great place to find doctors that are covered, you're going to be able to look for the most cost-effective place to have an MRI, for example, or if you need an X-ray, because there is a tool that lets you look up the cost of different things. If you enroll in the 6750 100% plan, the website is going to be very beneficial because you will need to download your explanation of benefits to submit for reimbursement. So I would definitely get yourself registered, play around in the site, and feel free to reach out with any questions. Page number 8 talks about the Teladoc benefit. This is a Teladoc benefit provided to you through Aetna. So regardless of the plan that you elect, you have this plan option. Generally speaking, the Teladoc visit will cost you $40. However, during this pandemic, Aetna has waived the cost of the Teladoc service through the end of June. This is a very fluid situation that we're in right now, so it is possible that the date get extended, but currently, if you use the Teladoc benefit from now through June, there will be no charge. If you then were to use it in July and thereafter, you should expect a $40 charge every time. We already discussed CVS Minute Clinic and it being completely free. Page number 10 talks about the Apple Watch. This is a benefit that is a one-time deal. So now Toccata has had Aetna for the last several years. If you have already received your Apple Watch, you are not eligible for another one. However, those of you that have not yet received an Apple Watch through Aetna, Aetna will help you in paying for an Apple Watch. If you download the Attain app on your smartphone, you will get to choose from a variety of different Apple Watch models, and depending upon the Apple Watch that you choose, you could get the watch for free. What happens is Aetna is going to divide the cost of the Apple Watch, and it's going to cover just the standard Series 3 38mm one, into 24-month payments. Every single month that you meet your wellness goal, Aetna will pay that monthly payment on your behalf. If you choose a more expensive watch, you're going to be responsible for the difference on the monthly basis. Now, brand new as part of this is the Apple Watch is not only eligible to you as employees as it had been in the past, but it's also for any spouses or dependents over the age of 18. So if you already received your Apple Watch, but now you want to get one for your spouse, you may do so. If you do not meet your health goal for that month, you're only responsible for that 1 month of payment. It's not like, oh, I missed my goal and that's it. I'm now, going to have to pay for the entire watch. not how it works. It gives you the chance to come back the following month and get back on track, and they'll continue to pay for it then. Page number 11 also talks about the discounts provided to you by Aetna. Aetna has a lot of great discounts, including gym memberships, car rentals. You can get discounts on exercise clothing. I mean, a whole bunch of stuff. So I would just advise everybody to sign up. You'd be surprised. Maybe something that you need, you can get a discount for. And it's absolutely free for this program. It's part of your Aetna medical plan. Page number 12 over here talks about your new benefits package. Part of this package is a Teladoc benefit, not to be confused with the Teladoc benefit provided to you through Aetna. This is a separate benefit where you still have access to Teladoc. However, it will always be free. Meaning you call now, you call July, you call October, you call December. You and all of your covered dependents will have access to the Teladoc provider at no charge to you. However, the Teladoc is only one very small component piece of the package provided to you. In addition, you have an alternative medicine benefit where you can save anywhere to 10 to 30%. This is great. Some people prefer a more holistic approach, including acupuncture, holistic medicine, etc. This is going to provide you with discounts to that. Also, one of the more popular component pieces within this package is going to be the pet care. Not only do you get a discount at participating veterinarians, but you also get a discount on their medication, pet supplies, lodging, etc. Great benefit. Just need to go to a participating provider to receive it. In addition, you have all these other discount programs available, including vitamins, pharmacy discounts, discounts on hearing aids, which are not covered under medical insurance, durable medical equipment. You can get discounts on that. Lab testing, diabetics supplies, MRIs, CAT scans, and you have the ability to start earning cash back for shopping you would have done anyway. Page number 13 talks about your dental. I do want to remind everybody that your dental has not changed at all, including your deduction. So if you paid X amount of dollars last year for you and your family, it's going to be X amount of dollars again this year. With your dental plan, you have a PPO plan that has a $1,500 calendar year maximum. This benefit maximum is the most amount that Guardian will pay on your behalf. This benefit is a per person benefit. So if it's you, your husband, your 3 children, each of you have a $1,500 benefit available. That benefit replenishes itself every January 1st. All preventative services, including the preventative cleaning and the office visit, covered at no charge to you. If you choose to go out of network, you may do so. Preventative services, you're responsible for 20% after your deductible. Deductible within the network is $50 for an individual, $150 max for the family. Out of the network, you do have a slightly higher deductible responsibility, $100 for an individual, no more than $300 for the family. Basic services including your fillings, periodontal, scaling, root planting, and a root canal covered at 20% after the deductible in the network, 30% after the deductible out of the network. Major services such as crowns and dentures, you're going to be responsible for 50% after the deductible within the network, or you pay 60% after deductible out of the network. Because you have had Guardian for the last several years, it is possible that you on an individual basis have a slightly different calendar year benefit. And that is because Guardian rewards overall good dental health. And if you had seen a provider, whether it was for a cleaning, maybe you had a little filling, whatever the case may be, if you saw a provider and spent no more than $700 within the last benefit year, you will be rewarded with anywhere from $350 to up to $500 if you went to in-network only providers as a reward for you. So it is possible that I may have $1,500, where maybe my spouse has a $2,000 benefit, where maybe my child has a $1,850 benefit. It is very customizable between individuals and where you sought care and treatment. Every single individual that is enrolled in the dental plan has a college tuition program built in. This is a thank you for being a Guardian customer, and Guardian is going to give you 2,000 points, which equates to $2,000 every year to use towards a qualified beneficiary's college education. Qualified beneficiaries include children, stepchildren, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, godchildren. So as long as you have the name, date of birth, and address for that child, you're able to register them to be a dependent and qualified beneficiary of the program. In addition to your annual 2,000 points, each child that you register will earn you an additional 500 points. 500 points, again, is $500. There are a couple of key dates that you need to take into consideration. All children must be registered before you enter 11th grade, and you have to choose if you're going to use that money for that beneficiary, for that dependent, before they enter the 12th grade. Please, if you have not already registered, please register. It is free money. Even if you no longer have Guardian a few years down the line, that money stays with you. Next benefit we're going to talk about is the vision benefit. Vision benefit is through Guardian utilizing the Davis Vision Network. Again, same plan as last year, same cost as last year. You have in and out of network benefits available to you. A couple things that I wanted to point out is, in addition to the $130 allowance that you get for glasses, you'll actually also receive a 20% discount for the frames, with the exception of at Sam's or Walmart because their price is already discounted so much. Contact lenses, you get the $130 allowance, and then you get 15% discount over the $130, with, again, the exception of Sam's and Walmart. You are able to get an eye exam every year, new lenses every year, and new frames every single year. Great benefit. Next benefit that I want to talk about was short-term disability benefit. You, as a SegPay Toccata employee, automatically receive this benefit. The benefit is going to pay up to 60% with a cap, so it's 60% of your salary to a maximum benefit. It will start paying out on the first day if you're out due to injury or after 8 days of being sick, and it will cover you for up to 13 weeks. So your employer is allowing you to focus on your recovery while you're still gathering some income. After your 13 weeks, though, your short-term disability will run out. Your long-term disability will then kick in. This benefit, you're eligible for 60% up to a monthly maximum of $4,500. This benefit starts after 90 days. So this benefit is going to start after your short-term disability runs out and is going to last through age 65, or depending upon the age you are when you have a disability, etc., but generally speaking, age 65. Another benefit provided to you at no charge is going to be your life insurance. Your life insurance is going to be 1 times your salary to a maximum of $200,000. However, age reductions will start to happen once you reach age 65. Open enrollment is a great time to take a look at your beneficiaries to make sure you are leaving the money to the person that you would like to. I would be very upset if my husband were to have left his life insurance to his ex-wife. It would not make me happy. So just take a moment to make sure that your beneficiaries are up to date while you are running through your elections. If you feel that the life insurance provided to you at no charge is not sufficient, you do have the option of purchasing additional life insurance. You can purchase life insurance for yourself as well as any qualified beneficiaries. To purchase life insurance for yourself, you can purchase them in $10,000 increments not to exceed $300,000 or 5 times your salary, whichever is less. The very first time you become eligible for this benefit, you're able to purchase up to $50,000, no questions asked. If you purchase over $50,000, or if you were eligible for life insurance in the past and you had declined the benefit, but now wish to enroll, you may do so. However, I will need an evidence of insurability form completed and returned because you have to get approval before that voluntary life insurance kicks in. Same thing with your spouse. Able to purchase life insurance for your spouse in $5,000 increments. It cannot exceed 50% of the amount that you purchase for yourself. So if I purchase $300,000 for myself, I can only purchase up to up to 50% the benefit for my spouse, not to exceed $100,000. So I would have $300,000. My spouse could only have up to $100,000. If I purchased $50,000 for my spouse, for myself, my spouse could only have $25,000 worth of coverage. If the amount that I purchased for my spouse is over $20,000, or if I have waived insurance for them in the past and now I want them covered, they will need to complete that evidence of insurability form as well before approval. Dependent children, you can choose up to a flat $10,000. If you have multiple children, if you cover one child or multiple children, the cost is the same. So all of your children under age 26 should be registered for the benefit if you are opting to purchase the insurance for any of your children. The next benefit I want to talk about is the Employee Assistance Program. This program is a very valuable, underutilized benefit. Life in general is very stressful, especially right now. Sitting at home, trying to work while also homeschooling children and taking care of your household responsibilities, it can be very overwhelming. The Employee Assistance Program offers confidential support absolutely free. You have access to talk to a counselor over the phone. You have a whole slew of online services as well, including stress management tips. Maybe you need help building a budget. Maybe because of the situation, you're now faced with having to bring a parent into the home with you, and now you're looking for potential adult daycare centers to send them to once this stay-at-home order is lifted. Whatever the case may be, the CompPsych Corp, which is who provides the EAP, can help. So I would definitely reach out to them, see what services they have. Definitely makes your life a lot easier knowing that you're not alone in this. Last benefit that I want to talk to you about is the flexible spending account. Flexible spending account is a benefit where you're able to put money away tax-free to use for qualified expenses. It is a use it or lose it benefit, and you do have, however, you do have the option of rolling over. So if you choose to elect, you can, for your medical, you can choose to elect up to $2,750. If you choose to elect $2,000 and you don't use that money, your employer will allow you to roll over $500 from the previous plan year into your new plan year so you don't waste it. However, if you have more than $500 left over in your bucket at the end of the plan year, you would lose anything above that $500 threshold. So the FSA is definitely something that you need to consider before you choose to make your annual election. In addition to the medical reimbursement, which again is capped at $2,750 for the 2020 plan year, there's a separate dependent care account, which allows you to put $5,000 into an account to use for qualified dependent care for children under the age of 13. Not only is it going to cover daycare, after schools, it covers camps as well. All of that money is put away tax-free, so it's going to lower your taxable income. A couple of different ways to use the benefit. Number one, with the dependent care or the medical flexible spending account, you're going to have a debit card where you're able to swipe and it will be approved. You go on your way. It's just like a regular debit card. However, if you are swiping your debit card at a place that is not associated on their merchant code as being a pharmacy, and instead they are coded as a grocery store, it is possible that your card will be denied, and then you can manually submit for reimbursement from the card. Another instance that might happen is now the flexible spending account has an expanded list of things that can be covered, including some over-the-counter items. So you may use your card and it gets declined because it doesn't recognize that merchant service code, and therefore you would have to submit a claim, just your receipt in the form back for reimbursement. And now, the very last page. Dun, 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 dun. What will my benefits cost? So this page is probably the page that everybody's looking most forward to seeing. Not only does it have all of your different plan options in one page and the per payroll cost, but at the very bottom of the page, it also has the contact information. So probably, in my opinion, the most valuable information is the bottom of page 17. You have all of your carrier information, their phone numbers, and either website or email address for everybody that we went over all your benefits in the booklet. Bottom of the page, you'll notice both myself, Colleen Hernandez, Debbie Rito. We are here to help you with any questions regarding any of your benefits. Right above my name is the telephone number for the FSA department. So the flexible spending account, the dependent care flexible spending account, or your HRA is also through CGI. It is a different phone number listed right over here. But again, you can go through either myself or Deb with any questions that you may have. So I'm going to open it up if anybody had any questions about anything at all. And while I'm opening it up for questions, I'm just going to put my and Debbie's contact information up a little bit larger, because if you're like me, I can't see anything, and this will make it a little bit more beneficial to everybody. Any questions? Janelle, did you have anything else that you wanted to add then?
No, I think we're all set. I'll go ahead and email everybody the benefit at a glance in a couple minutes.
Perfect. And I just want to remind everybody, Friday evening by 5 o'clock for the open enrollment options to be made online.
Yeah, and I'll go ahead and just remind everybody the same thing. And if you have any questions or need to schedule one-on-one calls to discuss specific in reference to your personal situation when it comes to the benefits, feel free to let me know and we'll schedule something.
Well, thank you everybody for your time. I appreciate it, and I hope you guys have a happy and healthy week.
Thank you, Colleen and Debbie. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you guys.